Hey there, welcome to CandTCollectiblesYT. Hope you're doing well. This is your weekly sports card chart blast. A day early. I'm out of here for this weekend, so I thought we'd just throw together a couple of things to look at. Try and market movers this week. There's just some baseball players that I wanted to look at. And Card Ladder, not very scholarly when it comes to modern baseball. They're very focused on basketball inserts. They've got that taken care of. They does look like they're adding some early 80s sets, but there's some current players that I just wanted to check out overall. So I'm not very good with their interface yet, but I think the basic charts I got down. There's a lot there, but I'm just doing the free trial, so it's probably like a one-time thing or whatever. So anyways, their market pulse index, think of any big card over the last decades, go all the way back to Mickey Mantle at least, just from a cursory look at it. And they are in the index here, and you can see that index is continuing to trend lower, putting in some new lows. So that's a downtrend. Lower lows and lower highs. Any way you slice it. So the card market, again, grinding lower, and you don't like to see that from the high end cards. You want that money coming in to lift everything up, not leave and then leave it up to us schmucks to try and do the heavy lifting on a lot of these cards here. So anyways, the overall index, as I see it, is trending lower over the past year here. All right, resize the screen a little bit and pull up a few players that are leading the league. And again, Card Ladder, they have some of the big names here, but when you get into like the Taylor Wards and things of that nature, for better or worse, they don't have them. Taylor Ward for your Angels has been one of the better players in the league, if not the best player in the league. I don't know if he qualifies for the official stats. You need 3.1 plate appearances per game that your team has played. So he's about 20 plate appearances behind some of the leaders. So he's close if he's not already there. But 253 weighted runs created, walking 17% of the time, striking out 23% of the time, 9 home runs, got a 489 BABIP with a 376 average. So do look for some regression from Mr. Ward. But he's off to certainly a terrific start here. He is 28 years old with 3 wins to his name. So this is more of a trading basket type guy. This is not a speculation, long time buy, hold, or anything like that. And right now is probably not the time to do a lot with his cards if you are looking for that. Again, we are looking for some regression. His prices are at all-time highs, but that Topps Chrome Sapphire in the raw sitting over $30. I mean, if it gets cut in half, then you lose $15 or something like that. If you like Taylor Ward, have fun with it. If you're saying, all right, I got this under-the-table guy that's leading the league and he's at all-time highs, he's not so under the table anymore, probably not the time to do it, but what the heck, what a terrific start for Mr. Ward. CJ Cron also having himself an awesome start to the season. Now, this is a 32-year-old with a handful of wins to his name. He's probably having his best season right now. He's never put up more than a little over 2 wins in a season. He's already sitting at a win and a half with 9 home runs. Again, elevated BABIP, so you would expect that average at 321 to kind of creep back into that 280, 290 area at some point here. Although in Colorado you can carry a higher BABIP than you have anywhere else because they've got a big outfield. It's not about the home runs there. It's about the batting average on balls in play because there's more room for those balls to be in play here. And so the last couple of years he has had a higher BABIP than he has at any point in his career. And so that average, again, if he's up in that 290 area or something like that, wouldn't be surprising. His card right here is the Topps Chrome Refractor. Pretty darn cheap entertainment here, but again, sitting at all-time highs, looking for some level of regression. And a 32-year-old, again, trading basket type player. Even at a couple of bucks, it's like you could probably get it for half that. $5 isn't going to hurt anybody, I'm guessing. But when you buy it for $5, the upside is limited. If you're trying to flip them, that may be a tougher play here. Paul Goldschmidt, I don't even need to look at his stats. This is a guy that if he can just keep playing at the level he's been at the last couple of years, can you pull that off for another 3 years or something like that? We're looking at a Hall of Famer here, and he's well liked. That plays a big role in Hall of Fame selection here. So we had kind of the one-off in his update, 2011 update PSA 10, and that's a pretty darn good price if you can get it again now. Now he's settling back into an area where, yeah, that's probably fair. He's been at the $70, $80 level for a while. You've had these spikes in the past year. Those are to be ignored. But this buy and cluster rate here is kind of where you want it. Now, his raw version, some of the Diamond Anniversary, things of nature, those are trending up. They're a little bit more limited here. So those may be a little bit more of a desirable card. There's fewer of them, easier for demand to overwhelm. But if you just use this as your base, he's trading at a fair price, and I think that trajectory can continue to increase if, again, another good season does it again next year. People will start to take that Hall of Fame path a bit more seriously. Jazz Chisholm, here's a 24-year-old, just turned 24, really came onto the scene last year. Came up when he was 22. Not the greatest starter by any stretch here, but he had a couple of win season last year, 124 games, so nothing crazy. But right now he's really matched that total. One of the best at his position. So he is that 338 BABIP, but again a little elevated. So perhaps some regression. Maybe settles in the 270, 280 hitter, but he's got some power, a little more power than he's really shown ever, and 153 weighted runs created. His hitting profile, walking 5% of the time, striking out 23% of the time. So again, we're looking for some regression. He got to the top of his range, and he's backing off. And so this is a player that I think if you wanted to speculate a little bit longer term, is not a bad play overall. So I've done a little bit here and there. I'm not going super crazy with it or anything like that. And so for him, a fun card are the X Fractors, and for the raw version, again, those are probably going to be a 9 or a 10, and so you're better off buying the raw in most cases. And he's coming back into an area of decent buying, and so this was to be ignored. He had support at $30. It broke that, and so now I look for sub $20, and you could probably do a little something with that. But that's probably a player that maybe I'll do a little bit more on, speculate here. And again, looking for him to cool off just a bit, perhaps. But it looks like a terrific player. I'd love to see that strikeout rate get sub 20%, and then we can have something, really something to hang our hat on here. All right, Jeremy Pena, another player that just really has come up, and he hasn't really looked back. And so your friend of mine, Dakota, I believe he was picking up some of his some Bowman stuff last year. He's a Houston fan, so it's cheating to pick up players of your own team or anything like that. But we'll give him credit. We'll give him credit here. So 24 years old, and he's already put up a couple wins this season. Just really one of the better players at his position. 280 average, a little over 316 BABIP. So not looking for a ton of regression in that area. The power's coming out of nowhere. This is as a prospect. His game power was graded out at that 30-40 area. And he's got a 255 ISO, which is pretty impressive. That's what the big guys do here. So I'm not sure he's there yet. He's got 7 home runs. And we'll see that home run to fly ball ratio. I mean, 2 or 3% of the balls he hit in the past where it was really low single digits. Things that he put in the air, they left the park, and he's hitting them out now. 20% of the balls that he puts in the air leave the park. And so this is an incredible jump. Is that him? So that's the big question here. He's really getting some love to start the season. That has come off decently. This is his 2020 Chrome Prospects. This is the Mojo Refractor. And so, $10, $15, sure, why not? And you're kind of getting to that point here. That's an interesting speculation play, dude. Looks like he belongs here. Xander Bogaerts. All right, this is the one that I've just been for years. I'm like, this is your best offensive shortstop in the game. Can we just get a little love here? Still no. So again, we're gonna try market movers, and card that I wanted to look at, and people hate him, so I don't get it here. This is his Topps Chrome Refractor raw, $20. Yep, yes. Yeah, I mean, for me all day long for the most part here. But you get into some of his more higher end cards, and they are getting a bit of love here. But I think people are just going for the new and shiny rather than the old and proven and shiny here. And this is the direction that I think I would rather go here. So you can look at his PSA 10, PSA 9, and his raw. The PSA 10 trending upwards just a little bit. That's a good price there, $250. So he's getting some love at the high end here. But the 9s and the raws, people kind of don't care. So if you're looking for a budget Xander, that may be the way to go here. So J.P. Crawford, former prospect at top prospect, really. This was like their guy, and it just hasn't quite. It goes a slow start here, upwards of age 20. He had started his career at age 22. That's what you want to see, but you got to hit the ground running if you really want to make some hay in the MLB Hall of Fame track world and the card world. Didn't really happen for him for the first 4 years, and then last year, in a full season, 3.3 WAR, so just below that all-star level. But this year he's picking up where he left off. So last year was a little bit above average bat, and right now with the 159 weighted runs created, he's an elite level, nearly MVP type bat. Early in this season, there's a lot of guys up there, so it's hard. You can't say he's the leader, but at his position, he's playing very, very well. Sub 20% strikeout rate. Isolated power is respectable. He's got four home runs on the year, so you don't need him to be a huge power hitter at the shortstop position. But 343 BABIP with a 300 average. Look for that to regress just a touch, but the big picture on him, and he is 27 years old with a handful of WAR, so more of a trading basket type guy. No matter what kind of season he has here, I don't think he can make up for those first 4 years that nothing much really happened here. So top's chrome refractor raw. You're talking about a buck or two. Why did I even throw this one on here? All right, have fun. Go nuts, whatever. It could be a good trading basket type guy here. Maybe that's why I put him on here. So people will pay up. If you get it for a buck or two, and he keeps doing what he's doing, and Seattle makes a bit of a run, I mean, you could sell it for 3 or 4. Just go buy a couple hundred of them, I guess. All right, Manny Machado off to an incredible start in the market's reflecting at new highs. This is his Chrome X-Fractor PS810. Nearly $400 card. That thing's almost doubled over the last year. He's been a monster, and he's on an incredible long-term track as well. So, investing basket type guy. I don't know if you buy at the highs here. His BABIP's over 400. I mean, there's probably some regression at least, but probably an incredible season as well. Stay healthy. Could he be a top 1 or 2 MVP? So this is not the year to go all in on Manny, probably. But off season, or if he scuffles a bit next season, keep him on your long-term watch list here. That even that raw X-Fractor from $60 up to 100, and wherever it is now, 110, 120, almost a double. Again, while he's playing the best he ever has, and he's getting more, relative to the rest of the league, is this the time to do it? So again, keep him on your radar, but probably wait for pullbacks on that one. Jose Ramirez, same thing here. His top's rookie auto 9510, and that's been a monster run as well. Beginning of the season, we've been talking about him for plenty of time. That's been a double on that card here, and so while he's one of the top 2 or 3 best players in the league, again, is this something that you're chasing right at this moment? You feel the need, you have to buy this card right now, and he probably doesn't regress that darn much, but wait for the Indians to fall out of favor and become irrelevant around July or whatever. And then maybe you can get this card for $100, $150 less or something like that. I mean, so I don't know what the price target is, but again, roughly all-time highs is probably not, and he's playing his best, probably not the time to do a lot with that card. If you watch my videos, if you're one of the 6 people that watched my stuff a couple of years ago, then you're in. So, all right, Kyle Tucker having himself a season. The last couple of years, Dusty just messed with him. Didn't play him a ton. And the last couple of years, all-star level player, 5 wins last year. This year already had a win and a half, probably another 5, maybe even 6 win season. And he's getting a little bit unlucky so far. His strikeout rate 20%, which is what he's done for most of his career. Last year was a little bit lower, but he's coming back to where he was in the past year. But a 13% walk rate. He's being a bit more patient at the plate here. 275 BABIP. That's low for him. He's a speedy guy. He should be up around 300, and so that 250 average, I think there's room for that to increase. We're roughly a quarter of the way through the season, just under. He has 7 home runs, so he could be a 30 home run guy as well here. So we'll see how that plays out. This is a player that I like, pick up enough. This is his top chrome refractor, just coming in near the bottom of his range in that PSA 10. Could be a interesting pickup as he looks like a top 10 outfielder right now. So I had him a little bit higher even, but right now, even not playing at his best, top 10-ish. So Giancarlo Stanton having an incredible season. It's all about health with him. He's getting a lift here. So he's an interesting case. Is right now, can he stay healthy for the next 7 years and play ball? It's a lot to ask on that one right here. So the prices may not be terribly favorable on that update gold in the PSA 10. That could be a big ask for him. Just all of a sudden discover health and consistent playing. So we'll see how that goes. But people are respecting what he's done to start the season, and we're seeing some all-time highs in his cards here. George Springer getting a lift as well. Here's another top 10 outfield type player. So this is the player that we had. When he's healthy, he's a really, really good player. And we had him in the top 10, and he's doing his part here. And so you're coming up to a $50 resistance. This was his update base PSA 10. The crazy thing about him is you would never get. He's 32 years old. It's hey, really? You think of guys like Correa and Lindor, they're 27. It's well, they've been around forever. And George Springer's got a late start. It's he seems like he hasn't been around for the longest time. Kind of came up with those guys, and he's literally 5 years older than him. So off the long-term track, trading basket type guy, and you're coming up at least on short-term resistance, which you're hoping for. if you are buying here, is to catch one of these spikes. But again, top 10 season, and as an outfielder, and those Astros are looking pretty good. So, yeah, I wouldn't do much right now. I just don't know who's going to come in. Again, you have to catch a pop on it. But what the heck, keep them on your radar for a trade. But it's a trade. Long term, probably not so much. Seiya Suzuki came up. He's doing everything. He is as advertised, and those prices are crazy expensive. He is, I think, what is he, 27 or something like that? Can he be Ichiro? Can he just do what he's doing right now and do it till he's like 40? That's kind of what it takes. And so I'd wait for some of the shine to come off of that particular card here. Shane McClanahan, this is one of your best pitchers in the league if you look at like strikeout to walk rate. Even without that, there's a percentage above 20% of in that ratio is elite stuff, and he's sitting 30%. He's leading the league in that area, and as it stands right now, he's striking out over 12 per game, walking less than 2 per game. Left on base, getting a little lucky. 85% of the guys that get on base stay there. So, but he's sure looking like the real deal here. Pretty incredible stuff here. 2.33 ERA. His xFIP is sitting at 185. So it's like, oh my gosh, man, he's getting a little. He's lucky in some areas, unlucky in some areas. He's kind of doing what he's doing, but 12% strikeout or 12 strikeouts per 9, 13 strikeouts per 9. With a low 2 ERA, and this is Cy Young type stuff here. So can he keep it going? So the markets recognize that, and coming off a little bit, but we sure like this. This is the autograph Topps Chrome, 2021 or something like that. Yeah, last year, and so if we can get that thing sub $30, it's like, yeah, this is a guy to kind of look out for. 25 years old, so. That just turned 25. That's not old for a pitcher at all. So kind of interesting here. Corbin Burns, Sapphire, having an amazing season under the hood here. The numbers may not reflect it completely, but it's Corbin Burns. He looks great. And those raw Sapphires under $30 seem like a decent deal here. Dylan Cease's personal favorite. Never see him on card ladder, so I want to see it here. And looking for him to have had a great season last year. Looking for him to continue it. He's one of the league leaders in strikeouts per 9. And again, market recognizes that. So there's all the time to do anything with it. Perhaps not, right around those all-time highs. But absolutely on pullbacks to sub $30 or something like that. And it's really not that far from there right now. I'll be talking about a couple bucks or whatever. But those rookie autographs, heck of a deal on those. Maybe for me, this is a player that I'm stashing some extra away for the longer term. I just think that there's a lot more upside to him over the years, and we're talking ace level stuff here. So Carlos Rodon, kind of the same thing. He's figuring things out, but he's a bit older, so I'm not super interested in his cards at this level. But gosh, he looks in the last couple of years he's been pretty amazing here. So you kind of sitting, and the market is assessing that as well. They really like him, sub $60, and they don't like him above $90. And you're kind of sitting in between there. So maybe sit and watch and see what happens here. And we'll wrap it up with Luka having himself a heck of a playoffs here. So Silver Prism PSA 10. A lot more volume on here so we can get a little bit better feel for his cards. And so, pretty decent bottom coming in that 2100 area here. Now we've got a little mini breakout and a retest. And so if he keeps playing, perhaps we can make a run to that trend line, which would be about $3,000 or something like that. So, considering where he's at right now, there's some upside here. So has Luka finally put in a bottom? We shall see. Kind of crazy, but someday it's going to happen. So is this it? I don't know. So remains to be seen here. So, all right, that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. Market Movers, interesting stuff here. I like the interface. Yeah, I prefer card ladder. I'm just more used to it, I think. But Market Movers, sure, any card that you want, it's there. As far as the data and how reliable it is, I don't know. But it is fun to look at some different players from time to time. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.